Hello there, I'm Ruth Hull. I'm trained as a homeopathic doctor and integrative health consultant, and I help people who are struggling from constant tiredness, who are feeling completely and utterly burnt out, exhausted all the time, and who know that they really need to rebuild their health. If that's you, then please have a look at my website, ruthhull.com. That's RUTHHULL.com. I've got lots of lovely resources for you to help you start navigating your fatigue and start rebuilding your health. Now, one symptom that really tends to accompany chronic fatigue or burnout is pain. I don't know if you're struggling with pain, maybe joint pain, headaches, muscular tension, neck stiffness, neck and shoulder stiffness, lower back pain, cramps. Pain is such a common symptom that really goes hand in hand with fatigue. And unfortunately, your allopathic or your medical painkillers, your non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen, aspirin, any codeine-based painkillers, they can't be taken forever. They can't be taken ongoing on a daily basis because of all the side effects they have. Also, if you have other health conditions with your pain, for example, stomach ulcers or stomach problems, gut issues, any liver or kidney problems, then you really shouldn't be taking those kind of painkillers for too long. So what are the alternatives? You might be wondering, come on, Ruth, I'm not giving up my painkillers. Don't ask me to, because I struggle too much. I suffer too much. So I hear you, and I'm not here to tell you to give them up. But I am here to give you a few alternatives to your painkillers. Firstly, before I do that, there's two things I want to really clarify. The first is, if you are on painkillers, especially prescription painkillers or anti-inflammatories, please don't stop them suddenly and try my alternatives. You're just going to end up really, really feeling dreadful. Rather chat to your doctor or your GP, whoever prescribed them, and you can start with my alternatives at the same time as you're on your medication. And then over time, together with your prescribing doctor, you can slowly but surely cut down or cut back, decrease on your painkillers. And you'll find a place where hopefully you won't need your painkillers every day, or you may just need a lower dose. But you've got to work towards that. Don't just give them up cold turkey. That's the worst thing you can do, and it can be dangerous for some people. So everything I'm going to share with you today is just, you can start it whilst you're on your medication and work with your doctor to slowly but surely reduce your medication when you feel ready to. The second really important thing is, and please don't try any of my alternatives till you've really thought about this. Your pain is there for a reason, and you must not ignore it. Every sign, every symptom, every health condition we have in our body is our body's way of asking us to stop and to listen, especially pain. Pain can be so debilitating. It is there to force you to stop doing what you're doing. So listen to it. Don't just use medication or the natural alternatives I'm going to give you today. Don't use these to suppress your pain, to ignore your pain, and to let you carry on doing what you're doing. You're in pain for a reason, and you need to find out why. If you have pain accompanying your fatigue or your burnout, then please go to my website. Actually, I'll put a link below in today's video. You'll find it with today's video. But it's also on my website at ruthhull.com/start, S-T-A-R-T. And I've got a really nice little resource there, very simple, very short, of where to start when you're struggling with fatigue or burnout. And in this resource, I just list the common causes of fatigue and burnout, the common foods associated with them, aggravating foods. And I also give you really good nutritious foods that you should be eating to rebuild your health. So don't ignore your pain. There is a reason. If you're not sure where to start, please go to ruthhull.com/start and have a look at that. Okay, so now we've got that out the way. Now that you are not going to ignore or suppress your pain, you're going to find out why you're in pain. And also you're not going to just give up your medication and try Ruth's alternatives. You're going to keep with your doctor and introduce these alternatives and slowly reduce your medication when you feel ready to. Let me share with you some really, really simple health, natural health protocol that you can use. I'm just going to have a sip of water quickly. Okay, the first one is so simple you're going to laugh, and that is using heat and cold locally applied to the area. So this is easiest if your pain is in your joints, and maybe it's your knee, maybe it's your hands, your feet, your ankles. And what you want to do is you want to heat the area up as much as possible and then cool it down as quickly as possible. Ways you can do this is when you shower, turn the shower up to as hot as you can bear. I don't want you to burn yourself. But really, really nice and warm, like just at your neck. Get that nice hot water on your neck for a while, or your lower back. And then when that area feels nice and warm, put on the cold, nice cold shower. Will wake you up and get it cold. Once it's cold, get it hot again. You can use a hand shower and just do it on your joints. Maybe it's your elbows or your knees. If it's your ankles, get a bowl, a foot, that you can put your feet in, fill it up with really, really, really cold water. Can even put a bit of ice in that, and then warm water. Again, don't burn yourself, don't damage your skin. Use your logic. Okay, and you go from hot to cold, hot to cold. Maybe you have an ice pack and a heat pack. And so put the ice pack on whatever area it is for as long as possible, and then the hot pack. So what is the point of alternating this hot, cold, hot, cold? It's actually really simple, and it's very, very clever. And this just shows you how the body works. So what you want to do is get an alternation going of your blood vessels constricting and dilating. So when you alternate the heat and the cold, your blood vessels will constrict. When you're cold, they constrict, to try and keep your body warm. So if there's something on the cold on the outside, all your little blood vessels constrict. When you put something hot on, they dilate to try and get rid of the heat. And when they dilate, you actually get a lot more blood to the area. So what you're doing through this constriction and dilation of blood vessels is encouraging the flow of blood to the area. So whatever area is inflamed and damaged and painful, when you get a lot of good fresh blood, that's basically what you're doing. You're getting the fresh blood to the area. You are, this fresh blood is bringing a lot of white blood cells. Your white blood cells are your immune cells. They are there to clean up all the toxins in the area, get rid of the damaged cells. They're there to heal the area. So you're getting a lot of your nice white blood cells. You're getting a lot of little molecules that are very anti-inflammatory. So to decrease inflammation, your body's full of little natural anti-inflammatories chemicals. So you're getting these brought to the area. You are getting a lot of waste removed from the area. So it's really simple, hot, cold, but you're really helping it, helping decrease the inflammation and heal the area. Okay, so that's one simple thing. Everybody can do that, and it doesn't cost you anything. Another really simple, really cheap, inexpensive trick. It's actually not a trick. I learned this years ago. I studied deep tissue massage years ago for people who had injuries, like being in car accidents, etc. And they had a lot of deep fibrotic tissue developing, but very, very deep fibrotic tissue. So normal massage is not going to help. And it comes from, I've forgotten the name of the word, but a type of massage, lomi massage from Hawaii. And they use castor oil. And I really recommend this to my clients with joint problems and inflamed joints or deep fibrotic tissue development. So something like frozen shoulder. Castor oil, so cheap. You get it in any chemist, any pharmacy. It's a disgusting oil and it stains terribly. So please wear an old t-shirt or make sure you've got old clothes when you use castor oil. What you do is you get the castor oil and you just rub it into whatever joint is affected. So let's just say you've got a frozen shoulder. Rub it into your shoulder, and then I always recommend to people they put cling film over, because castor oil does stain horribly. But if you've just got an old t-shirt, put an old t-shirt over. If you've got a heat pack, like a wheat bag, or if you can heat up a towel, you can put that over as well. The heat will help. When I learned this type of massage, we put the castor oil on one half of a person's back, and we massaged the other half of their back using deep tissue techniques for half an hour. And at the end of that session, the area that had the castor oil on was as supple, the tissue was as supple and released as the area that had been massaged for half an hour. So you can see how beneficial castor oil is to joints and to muscular tissue and to fibrotic tissue. So simple. Castor oil from your local pharmacy, rub it on the joint. Be careful, it does stain. If you can apply heat, that's even better. I recommend you do it 2 to 3 times a day if you've got a specific problem with a joint. And you can go a step further and you can add some ginger. Just be careful, do a little allergy test first, because ginger, some people can be sensitive to ginger. You can grate about 1 inch of fresh ginger into your castor oil before you apply it, or you can buy ginger essential oil. It's very, very strong. It's very powerful. You need 1 drop only with your castor oil, no more. And that can also really help your joints. Okay, so we've got alternating hot and cold water. We've got castor oil. Those are so beneficial to your to your joint problems. Other things you can do is you need to avoid in general. So now this isn't just joint pain, but this is more your muscular pain, joint pain, of course, but muscular pain as well, or headaches. You need to avoid your inflammatory foods. These are listed in my guide, where to start. But I'll just go through them quickly. The most inflammatory foods connected to pain are sugar, gluten, and fats, those sort of hydrogenated fats, those chemically altered fats found in margarine, deep fried foods, shortening added to your biscuits and cakes that you buy in supermarkets. So if you're struggling with pain, you really need to reduce your sugar, your gluten, and the bad fats. At the same time, I call them good fats. Again, they're in the same guide that you can download. Your good fats are your highly anti-inflammatory fats. If you're struggling with inflammation and pain, start eating your good fats today. So good fats are your olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, fresh avocados, oily fish such as salmon, mackerel, sardines. What are the little ones called? Anchovies, those little salty ones. Olives are also quite anti-inflammatory. And then your nuts and seeds. So all of those foods are very, very anti-inflammatory. Your good fats are very anti-inflammatory, whilst your bad fats are pro-inflammatory. So really look at what you're eating. Another thing you can do if you've just got a lot of pain is to actually start cooking a bit more with anti-inflammatory spices. So your anti-inflammatory spices are your ginger, which you can add to your castor oil, your ginger, your turmeric, and your garlic. So just start adding those to your foods. They're delicious. Eat more of them. Supplements that you can take. I'm not a big fan of supplements. I think you really need to look at, firstly, what is causing the pain, and secondly, just try to eat better foods and eat your anti-inflammatory foods. But if you're really, really struggling with pain, especially your joint pain again, and swelling and inflammation of your joints, rather than taking too many painkillers and anti-inflammatories, you can try a more natural one. So you get your MSM, your chondroitin, your glucosamine. I think you probably know about these already. And if you are lucky enough to live in Australia or New Zealand, you get your green-lipped mussel. That's one of my favorite anti-inflammatories. I actually, in 2016, I injured my hip really badly. And in 2019, so 3 years later, I immigrated to Australia. And with the move and, moving boxes and packing and unpacking, the pain came back very severely. I went to see my chiropractor and he said, wow, you've got so much inflammation going on here. So off I went to the pharmacy and I bought some green-lipped mussel. And I took it and I went back to him the next week. He said, wow, what have you done? The inflammation has just gone right down. So green-lipped mussel, beautiful. Okay, I think I have spoken enough today. I hope I've given you some ideas, some alternatives to just taking plain, simple painkillers. Go to ruthhell.com/start for my guide on where to start, where to start looking, what foods to avoid, what foods to eat more of, the good, I call them the good and the bad. And try the castor oil, try the hot and cold, try the natural anti-inflammatory foods, which are your good fats, try your good spices, anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric, ginger, garlic. You can always go for a few of the supplements, my favorite being the green-lipped mussel, but there's chondroitin, MSM, glucosamine. All of these can really help with inflammation. And most importantly, avoid those highly inflammatory foods like your sugar, your gluten, and the bad fats. That's all for now, and I will see you soon. Good luck with it all. And don't forget, I'm always here if you've got questions. If there's topics you want to hear more about, just subscribe to my weekly newsletter. And once you've subscribed, you can just hit reply to the weekly newsletter and ask me any questions. I will answer your questions in my blogs, in my videos, and in my newsletters. So don't be shy. Take care. Bye.